estimate. But of course, China with a very, very big game here the other night against Spain, almost beating the champions from Spain. So China obviously gotten a lot of confidence back from that game. And here off to a good start against the team from Africa. And that's Liu Wei there, picking up, beautiful three-pointer. Liu Wei was a very big player in that game, particularly against Spain. And China again off to very good three-point percentage there. 75% of the three-point attempts going in so far. And that's a good basket there from Angola.
Well, Kiki, Angola also had a good match in the Diamond Ball warm-up tournament against Australia. They took the Aussies to within 3 points, losing out there in the final seconds. So Australia breathing a huge sigh of relief after that match was finished. Angola are certainly capable of pulling the odd surprise, but if you look back at their Olympic record, they've taken part in every Olympics since 1992, and they have never made it to the quarterfinal stage, so they still have a long way to go. I mean, they're playing here in Beijing purely because they are the winners of the African group zone, and there just isn't that much competition there for them. The other powerful basketballing nations there are Egypt, Nigeria, for example, but apart from that, it's no surprise that Angola consistently come through the African zone. An even more bizarre country coming out of Africa is in the women's draw. Mali surprised a lot of pundits by coming through and winning the African zone for the women. So they are taking part there, and we'll have to see what sort of competition they provide the Chinese women. So early doors here in this match between China and Angola. China have already lost to the United States. They were thrashed by 31 points. Yao Ming making it look easy there from underneath. The big man who was ejected after picking up 5 fouls in China's match against the world champion Spain. And as soon as he came off, it was all over for China. It left a gaping hole in the Chinese defense. And the scoring came right down, and that was when Spain coasted home after China actually led them by 14 points at one stage. So Yao Ming still the #1 guy for China. From downtown, they miss. Just 2 minutes left on the clock in this first quarter. China really looking to make amends for, look at that.
Well, this is a must-win game for China, obviously. Prior to the Olympics, they would have wanted to win this game and against Germany, because that would take them through the round stages. And obviously, the situation is the same for Angola. Angola will be looking to beat the Germans and the Chinese to be able to go through in the tournament. So I think we might see the Chinese side here being possibly even more intense than we've seen them so far in this Olympics.
Well, China ahead at the moment again, very early on in this match, but I really do wonder if Angola have the kind of depth in their side to pull back this sort of deficit. And it's only going to stretch out as this match wears on unless Angola can really change their game plan. All these Angolan players, unlike all of the other sides here at the basketball competition, play their basketball in Angola. In fact, most of them come from one side in the capital, Luanda. There's just a few of them that play at another side in Angola. Their entire coaching staff is also Angolan. So very much a pure breed international side from that African country, from Southwest Africa. China, though, for example, have a Lithuanian coach, and they have a few players in the NBA. China's women have an Aussie coach, although none of those Chinese girls play overseas, all of them in the Chinese league.
So Angola here with the ball, driving the basket.
And this is Barosh.
And he's taking the shot on, and he makes it, #3. Three-pointer right there, Barosh.
Well, if they can do a little more of that this afternoon, Angola maybe in with a chance of doing something special here and upsetting China, and it certainly would be an upset even against the Chinese, who didn't fare particularly well at the last World Championships, finishing outside the top 10. Yao Ming is fouled.
And I think it's Barros there on the floor. It is. The three-point scorer from just before running into Yao Ming, and that's not a good thing to do. So is Yao Ming at the free throw line, and we've seen him before. He's very strong for a big man, a very competent free throw specialist right there. So look at his technique here, very good technique. Straight in the basket. Two for two for the big man. Trying to play an all-court press here, really putting pressure on the Angolan team right from the get-go. And a good rebound here by the Chinese side, really harassing there the drive to the basket. And Zhang with the ball, it's Wang. Wang with the three-point shot, he misses it, but the pickup, and it's Angola's ball.
So basketball split into two different groups here at the Beijing Games, two groups of 6 teams, and down in this Group B, it's, I guess you could call it the group of death in basketball at the Beijing Olympics, because we have the United States, we have the world champion Spain, world champion finalists Greece, Germany, who are strong with Dirk Nowitzki, China and Angola. We also have some pretty hot teams up in the other group, but you're watching play from Group B. So this is China against Angola. Spain also today have already beaten Germany 72-59. The US have been coasting through the draw. They opened with a big win over China, 101-70. And then the American second game was a 97-76 win over Angola. The Chinese, for their time, had an overtime defeat at the hands of Spain, 85-75. The Americans' next game is against Greece, and Greece have a psychological edge over the US in some ways, because it was Greece who knocked off the US in the semi-finals of the World Championships in Saitama, Japan, leading up to the Beijing Olympics. China's next game, as Kiki mentioned, is against Germany, and then they finish off with the USA against Germany and China against Greece. Again, that will be a very tough job for China to get through there. So, to be honest, I really do think it's going to be very, very hard for China to get through this draw and even make the quarterfinals, but we shall see.
So we finished the first quarter here with China in a comfortable position. And of course, these two sides, big difference in size. The Chinese side is being taller by the Angolan side by a good couple of centimeters in average. And that, of course, is a big disadvantage when you play a game like basketball.
Welcome back live to Beijing. If you've only just joined us this afternoon, just coming up to 3 o'clock in both Beijing and Hong Kong, we're watching the men's basketball draw, Angola against China. China desperate for a win here after earlier defeats at the hands of Spain and the United States. China finishing 8th at the last Olympics. Surprisingly, though, Spain finishing 7th in Athens, and just 2 years later, they won the World Championship. So a huge turnaround, and a confrontation there with Wang, and I think it was Ambrosio.
Three-point shot, and it's in. So China go to 31 against 17 for Angola.
That's a good way for Wang to reply after being manhandled before. That's Wang Shipeng. This is Costa. 2 Costas in the Angolan side. This is Armando Costa. Gomez gets fouled on the way through. 17-31, Angola with a bit of catching up to do. And a close-up before of the man who committed that foul. China's number 14, Wang Zhizi. It's funny, the other day in the match against the United States, Yao Ming put in a slam dunk and turned around and I don't know what you call it, but
chest bumping.
Chest bump as they do in the NBA. And I think Wang, who doesn't play in the NBA, was completely startled and gave him a look as if to say, "What on earth are you doing?" So another sign that Yao Ming has spent enough years over in the States playing there to become half American in a way, picking up all the mannerisms and body language as well.
So 31-19 here, with China having a comfortable lead in the start of second quarter. Wang with the ball. Still Wang. And there's a foul on Wang there, and it's Costa the guilty party.
Yeah, Costa again, Armando Costa, 25 years of age, and not a blatant foul, but a little bit cheeky, and he knew that that was going to result in a foul. 31-19. Again, let's hope Yao Ming doesn't get fouled out this time like he did against Spain. This is Wang.
This is Yi, and nobody can hold him. Yi there, the big man, and Yao Ming, they're giving Yi a big hand, and I think we might see Yao Ming having more of a rest today than we've seen him so far in the tournament.
Yes, Yi has just been traded recently, actually. He's moving to New Jersey in the NBA. Taking it upfield, that was Liu Wei, the Chinese skipper.
And I think that was Wang there with the basket.
Just 2 points inside from inside the line. This is Costa now.
Good play there from Costa. And the easy basket there from the tall number 10.
That's Gomez. Now this is Wang running it up court. Liu, I should say.
Liu moving really well today.
Liu, the Chinese captain. Liu trying to get around Costa. From just inside the line, the Chinese miss.
So Angola trailing with 12 points here.
This is Cipriano. Cipriano offloads to Gomez, and that should have been an easy layup from underneath by Gomez.
Gomez showing a lot of athletic ability there to win that ball back. Very strong rebound capability right there.
And Kiki, we just saw the scratch under the eye of one of the Chinese players that he picked up in that game against Spain.
He certainly picked it up in the game against Spain, and we were worried for a short while that he was going to have a real eye injury, but good to see it's just a scratch under the eye.
Cipriano. This is Marias. And his teammate Ambrosio following it in just to make sure that went down. Now, Kiki, interesting. We're down to a 10-point deficit. So it's very, very doable here for Angola to hit a few three-pointers and get back in this match. And I think that's why the crowd are now starting to cheer their side on. They realise they need a few more points to get into a more comfortable zone against the African zone champions.
And China have both their big men in now as well, Andrew, so obviously having a big advantage now on size, both Yao Ming and Yi, and probably trying to see if they can just consolidate their lead with a couple of quick baskets.
Well, I mentioned the sides in their group that China have to contend with, but it just gets harder and harder after that, even if they do progress, because in the other group, it's Lithuania, Croatia, Russia, who are the European champions, and another two-pointer from Yi, along with Australia, Iran, and the reigning Olympic champions Argentina, who are in pretty good form at the moment.
Shot is on, and he gets the offensive rebound and follows up with a hook.
So Angola stay within 10 points.
It's the skipper with the ball. Blue way, and he gives away a turnover here. So Angola now on the fast break.
That's Costa with an easy layup. It should have been easy anyway. China now looking to catch them on the counter, and Yao Ming waiting down there.
Wonder whether if Yao Ming didn't get back, though. I think the big man actually didn't even get back, and he was still in the other side of the court by the time that the turnover came the other way.
That's Geronimo. Vladimir Geronimo, number 9 for Angola. We didn't see him get much court time in Angola's last match. And they take a quick timeout, and it's 39 to 27 in favour of China.
It's a very interesting first name there for Vladimir, sounding very Russian, coming from Angola.
And Geronimo, of course, from cowboy and Indian culture, the rebel Native American leader from the 19th century.
So his parents probably had some fun naming him.
Well, speaking of having fun, the crowd sound like they're having fun as well. I don't know if there's a Mexican wave going around here at the Wu Kei Song Indoor Arena. Great shot of the top tiers of this stadium up the back. All these venues, first class here, being used for the Beijing Olympics. And Beijing, like all the other Olympic host cities, will have a bit of a challenge on their hands, making sure that these very expensive facilities get used after the Games. For example, the Sydney main stadium, which had a similar problem after the 2000 Olympics, had a full-time staff of 200 people to pay, and not enough competition coming in with ticket sales. And that was 200 people just to keep it maintained without even hosting an event.
Yes, it really can become an issue. I think potentially China may be in a better situation because a lot of these venues, of course, they didn't exist before. So China, being a very fast developing country, they may be able to find better use for it than some of the more developed countries that takes on the Olympics. But time will show.
Well, let's hope with the renovation of football stadiums and more basketball or indoor arenas here, that both the basketball and football leagues will both improve in China, because at the moment they're both in a pretty poor state. In fact, a very, very poor state. And they're coming off a low base, so hopefully these improved facilities are also going to improve the quality of both those leagues in China. This is Costa. Off the floor to Mingas.
Mingas driving the basket, and he takes on the shot, and a very nice shot indeed. That's a two-pointer there from Mingas.
Again, keeps them within 10 points.
And I think you're right, Andrew. If Angola can stick around the 10-point deficit, you never know what they can do towards the end. The Chinese side definitely wanted to get some more distance between themselves and the African players. Here's the three-point shot, and it's off. And so China right now not outscoring the Angolans at all. As a matter of fact, at this stage, Angola winning this second quarter by a few points.
There's the man underneath, and that was a foul. It wasn't an offensive foul. Sun Yu is the man in question, so Angola will take it from the free throw line. And that was Mingas. He's made a huge impact since he's come on, Kiki.
He certainly has, and the Chinese coach, they're calling a timeout. Just wanted to make sure, well, there's a change of players, and Mingas now stepping up to the free throw line. And if he can drain these couple of free throws, then they will be within 10 points.
And on comes Gomez. And he replaces Almeida, the Angolan captain, for the time being.
So that brings the deficit down to 9. And Mingas with one more shot. And that's secure in, so it's only 8 points between them.
31-39. And just seeing those figures with both sides in the threes, so to speak, or in the 30s, I think that's going to send a bit of a shiver down China at the moment.
And that's a steal.
Yep, they've still got it. Costa to Costa. I think the Angolans realise they're now close enough that not only do they need to score points, but if they can just keep it out of the hands of China. Going for the jumper. Beautiful from Angola. Oh, that's something special. That's from Luis Costa. And it's 34-39. China need to do something. They really need to start stepping up a gear to get themselves a more comfortable distance away from Angola. Just settle themselves down. Again, this is a very, very important match for China. They need the win badly.
Angola with the steal, so from having led comfortably and having a pretty easy-peasy game, suddenly this has become a catfight.
Foul, I think. Yeah, on Wang. And Angola will go for the line. And again, it's Eduardo Mingas who they have fouled, I am pretty sure. And on comes Wang, the number 7. He replaces Sun Yu.
So let's see if Mingas goes to the free throw line or they're just getting the ball. I think it's just Angola ball.
And it's all happening here now. Angola starting to pressure the Chinese. Costa. This is Gomez. 36-39.
And Gomez is very good with these little lobs there up into the basket, doing very well from the distance. Not driving the basket, but he's made a couple of very critical baskets in the last few minutes, and it's only 3 points in it. And the Yao Ming, they're beaten to the ball.
And Costa, Luis Costa, a tough customer. Oh, that was bizarre. One of the Chinese players sticking their foot out to try and stop that ball from going through. And that should have been an easy layup for Mingas. He misses the opportunity. Little pat on the back. In fact, it's nice to see Mingas there apologising to Wang of China for accidentally knocking him down. And Yao Ming is fouled on the way through.
And Yao really using his strength and size right there, just pretty much bulldozing his way through there. And he makes the basket as well, so this is a 3-point play.
So they'll take another timeout. Well, a couple of the Angolans are having a rather heated discussion with 2 of the on-court officials complaining about that last call, but there doesn't seem to be any point.
Well, they felt that they were standing right there before Yao Ming started to move, so they felt they should have had an offensive call. But anyway, it's too late. Here's Mingas with one of his shots.
And Costa, yeah, it's a real brace there. Good replays here from our host broadcaster. That was worth pointing out because it was a sudden brace from the Angolans that got them from a 10-point deficit up to a 5-point deficit, although I think Yao Ming is going to have to come back out and go from the free throw line. Or is he? Because the timeout was called straight away.
Well, Yao Ming should definitely come out now for the free throw. And I think the Chinese coach just wanted to make sure that his player knows how they should play against this side from Angola, because obviously they are a little bit unorthodox. So it's going to be very important for the Chinese side to stay disciplined, because they cannot run away from the Angolans. They're going to have to play their way through. And here is Yao Ming at the free throw line.
Well, this would be a real turnaround if Angola could pull off a win here, because they've so far been thrashed by both Germany and the United States. This is game number 3 for both sides.
So now Angola training with 6 again.
1:25 left on the clock at the Wu Kaesong Arena. This is Armando Costa. There with the jumper was Vladimir Geronimo. Just can't seem to miss at the moment.
Well, their three-point scoring is unbelievable. I think there's something like about 4 out of 6 at this point, the Angolan side, if not better.
Well, Kiki, we're inside the last minute now, and Angola are within 3 points. And this is really going to be a huge shot in the arm for their confidence. Yao Ming. The Angolans doing the best they can not to foul Yao Ming. And that's what happens when you play clean basketball on a player like Yao. If you don't foul him, he's probably going to turn around and shoot right over the top of you anyway.
He really is, and that was a good basket there from Yao. The Chinese really needed that. It's Mingus. Mingus driving the basket, and it's Yao who picks up the ball. And Mingus is complaining that he want to have a foul.
Yeah, referee's saying, look, get up. It wasn't. Mingus doing well to play the whistle, and
so now Angola with a chance here for the last basket in this quarter, and it's Costa with the ball.
They're going to have to shoot soon. The shot clock is
go
running
for
down.
3 points.
So is the game clock. Now, come on. Here comes Mingus.
And he drains
it. He nails it. Absolutely. That's 42-44. They will go to the break with Angola trailing by just 2 points against China. Well, Angola at the moment, Kiki, doing the same thing to China that China was doing to Spain.
And to the United States as well.
Yep,
in the first
absolutely.
quarters.
Shocking, a much higher ranked side.
Back to Beijing, and we're picking up the action here. We're getting ready to start the second half of this basketball game between China and Angola. China had taken a massive lead in the first half, but Angola clawing back with a series of three-point shots. And the game, I believe, is only a few points. I haven't seen the actual score here. We were looking at it in the outside studio.
Well, Don, the Angolans were trailing by, at one point, about 14. Then they brought it back to 10, but couldn't really get that much closer. And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they scored a brace of points. They took the game to China, and I really think they took them by surprise. China didn't know what was going on. Before they knew it, they were back to 5, and then they finished off the half with another three-pointer. And they are just really playing outside of themselves at the moment.
Well, they definitely have worked on their outside shots, because I was watching out there earlier, and they used 3 points to start clawing back when they were down 14 points. So China's going to have to figure out a way to try to cover that three-point shooting by Angola, but they tend to get the shot off very quickly. So if they just have a breath, had a huge lead going into the last quarter, a 14-point lead, and Spain, with about 8 or 9 seconds left, scored a fadeaway jumper by Gasol. He was literally going down on the floor backwards, fired it up, it sunk into the basket. China unable to even get a shot off before the final buzzer, and they came back in overtime and beat China by 10 points.
Yeah, that was a really, really heartbreaking loss for China. Now, they are out to give Angola a taste of their own medicine, and three-point shot there. From the number 9, Sun Yu. So 47-42. Angola are going to have to do something here to settle down the Chinese, who come out with guns blazing, really. This is Zhu. Zhu, he's got Yi outside. Zhu will go for 3 points, though. And Angola get the rebound and take it back up. This is Costa. Now, the other Costa, there's 2 Costas on court at the moment, Armando and Lewis. And now to the danger man, Mingas. Eduardo Mingas, using his sheer body bulk here. He'll turn around and go for the little layup. And Yi gets it. Yao Ming. Oh, he misses the 2 points. He gets the foul, but very frustrated with himself for not landing that one, as you would be.
He's going, did somebody move the hoop? He thought he had definitely that slam dunk, but he just absolutely shoved it straight onto the rim.
Yao's had so much publicity in Hong Kong and China, of course, after going to the NBA. And Don, from everything we've seen of him and heard of him as well, we've seen him interviewed in English many times in the NBA, and he just seems like such a nice person. I mean, he's not only a key part of the China squad, but he's just so well-grounded, very, very relaxed, very friendly.
He couldn't have been a better representative for China. Going over to the NBA, so many people thought that he wouldn't have a chance in the NBA, and he worked very, very hard to become an integral part of his team. So I just think he's an amazing individual to go to the States in the NBA. I mean, nobody had ever done it from China before, and he just seemed to mold right in and become relaxed in that setting.
Well, Don, Angola have just scored their first points of this quarter. This is Yao Ming. And the Chinese skipper goes from downtown. Just outside the line, and China bag 3, 52-44. Mingus.
So China's ball. China playing a lot stiffer underneath the basket. They're grabbing those those rebounds. The other thing they're doing is even if they don't get the rebound, they're fighting hard for it. They're not just letting the other team grab the ball. So you've got to get the rebounds, not just on defense, but also on offense, like right here. Very important. Number 11, I think that's Lee there, that didn't bring that down. He's 7 feet tall himself. It's not like that they only have Yao Ming.
Well, Don, that's actually somewhere where Angola have been getting the better of China, getting all the defensive rebounds. They've been retaining, streaming up court, catching the Chinese by surprise, and so much of it depends on retaining that ball.
So, foul right here on Yi.
Yeah. That
and
was
the foul was on
Geronimo.
What a great name.
Yi. China looking for a cheap 2 points. They do. Nice shooting. So Zhu Fengyu takes China to 54 points. So we're back to a 10-point deficit. Costa running through.
Well, that was a nice block by Yi.
Gomez should have done better with that. Over to Liu Wei.
I'll tell you what, he was looking up, and all he could see was Yi at 7 feet tall and Yao Ming at 7 feet 5 or 6. Oh, that is a very nice shot. That's Sun Yi.
Little stat on the screen just before. The blocks are 3-1 in favor of China. So Angola need to really settle down and start doing what they were doing at the end of the second quarter again. They had that fabulous break, and China had no answer to it. So looking to rediscover that form, but here in a bit of trouble, trailing 12 points against China.
Well, China working the court very nicely, waiting for the open shots, trying to work it on the inside, and you see Yao Ming there with the nice block. Of course, a lot of this action we're seeing right now is from the first half, but you can see that China's really developed a good all-court game. Some nice fadeaway jumpers by Yao Ming. They desperately needed those yesterday against the Spanish team, but down toward the end, he found it very difficult. The Spaniards had really beat up on him.
Absolutely. Well, you see, this is the problem. Being a big guy, he can't move that fast, and it gets shown up every now and again. A side realizes how to box him in. The Australians did it at the Diamond Ball warm-up tournament just before these Olympics, and they restricted Yao to 14 points, and he was not a happy man after that game. 56-44 at 6:30 in the third quarter. This is Costa of Angola. Angola, who
have always surprised everybody in the lead up to the Olympics. They've made every game since Barcelona in 1992, but just scraping the team together after 30 years of civil war. They're one of the poorest countries in the world. And, Mingus. Mingus going for two.
Well, he's also going for two right in the face of Yao Ming, which is pretty ambitious.
Sun Yu. From just outside the line, China looking for three, can't get it. And I think that's, no, not Mingus who gets it, it's Geronimo. This is Costa. Armando Costa. Geronimo. Luis Costa. Gomez, his shooting touch has deserted him for the time being. This is Liu, who will take it back up again, shadowed there by his opposite number. Off the rim, and Angola get the rebound that time. This is Armando Costa. Geronimo to Gomez. Gomez goes for three, gets it. 47 to 56. They're back within 10 points inside the last 5 minutes of the third quarter. Liu.
Good steal. And then the foul called on Liu. And that's an unnecessary foul. There was no reason to do that. They wasn't making a fast break. They weren't stopping a certain basket. But just those kind of fouls are just caused because he had the ball stolen from him. He won it back. It's kind of an ego foul, and it's not the kind of foul that you should let yourself make.
Costa from outside. Oh, nearly for Angola. Angola really giving a whole new meaning to the term underdog at these Olympics. The large but sparsely populated Southwest African country looking to make it big against China, the world's most populous nation, and it's 59-47. China ahead. Costa off the floor.
Good defense by China there.
This is Marias. Little fumble there from Musa. Musa's a man who also made a big difference when he came on in Angola's last game. That was a foul.
Well, they said it was a foul away from the ball on Yi. Let's see. Well, he did push pretty hard with his body.
Costa to Barosh. Barosh has had a pretty quiet last couple of quarters. Came on strong in the first quarter, but has faded since then. Inside, oh, missing the two-pointer. Picked up straight away by China. They'll run it down. Got to be an easy two for Yi.
That was a great pass right there. He looked like he had the open shot, but he saw at the last second they were going to try to block his shot. Pass off to Yi. Slam dunk. Going for the 2 points.
Yeah, Musa, what a shame. He was just inside the line. Why not just step back? Very relaxed shot. He gets the two anyway. 49-61 with just under 3 minutes left in this third quarter.
Well, we remember the other night against Spain, Wang from China, number 14, right near the end of the game, he shot what appeared to be a three-point, but his toes were just on the line. He got 2 points, and that made the difference in the final score being 72-72 instead of 73-72 for China, by the smallest of margins. He thought he'd actually shot a three-pointer, but the referee was right exactly on the line catching the toes. So China out to a very quick start here at the third quarter.
Well, Don, Li Nan has just come on for China as well in the background, and he is 32 years of age. So China looking to change the momentum of this game even further in their favour with the veteran Li Nan. Stolen by China again. Off they go. Really playing to the roar of the crowd here. Yi passing it inside, and that time Sun Yu unable to handle it.
Almost tried to be too tricky with that. It looked like he had the open little easy jump shot, not that far from the rim.
This is Chen. Chen, one of the shorter guys on the side, at 6'2". Out for Sun Yu. That's Li Nan. Li Nan, the veteran, goes for three. Can't get there. Barosh. Milton Barosh, shadowed by Wang. Barosh off the floor to Costa. Costa over to Gomez. Gomez can't get there. Yi, again, is in no hurry. Slows it down a little for Chen Jinghua. Chen to Yao Ming, who's fouled. At least that's what it looked like. So Wang to come back on for China. Yi, no, it's not Yi taking a break.
That's
well, I think Yao Ming's coming off. There he is.
Wang, we've seen him for years on China's team, and he's got the greatest soft shot. But he went absolutely cold in the overtime with Spain. He must have shot 4 3-pointers, did not make one.
Yi, you know what? I think Yi was thinking about picking up the foul there even before he started running. And that's when you lose focus. There's a bit of a boo going round as well, perhaps because of that. Just from the top of the key there. Angola miss.
And that's Wang with the rebound.
Yeah, Ambrosio just perhaps a little bit slack there inside the last minute. 63 to 49, and they pick up the foul.
But it didn't drop, so no three-point play, but he will go to the line. That was Chen with the drive. Very nice drive. Goes up. It looks like he's got an easy layup, but he's moving so fast, unable to control it off the glass.
Nails that one. Yeah, there's the scar under the eye of one of the Chinese players, Don. If you remember in their last game, we were a little worried that it had actually been a scratch on the eyeball itself, but as it turned out, just underneath the eye, thankfully for him.
That's for sure. We saw that. It was totally unintentional. And a miss there by Mingus. He looked like he'd made a great move. He was looking for a three-point play. He was fouled by number 10. That's our veteran out there, and Mingus will go to the line shooting 2. So 2 quick ones there. I think that's Chen, number 4. Coming around the quick jumper. Rebound by China. So Angola putting a lot more pressure on their offense now. Very tight defense.
Yi going for 3, can't get it, but they do get the rebound, and they've Missed the pass. Yi trying to keep it in. So a fumble by China. Yeah, and look at that. The Chinese coach is not happy.
That was a great effort by Yi to be able to reach out of bounds before he stepped out and throw that ball into number 7.
You see that look on the face of Jonas Kozlauskas, the Chinese coach, though, looking at a couple of his players saying, what are you doing?
Well, he's taken off his stars to try to give everybody a chance for a lot of playing time in these types of games because, you know, you can't just play your leaders all the time. You know, if you do that, they're never ready. The other players aren't ready later in the tournament.
And what better opportunity than against a side like Angola? But what they're finding now is that actually they've got to put in a lot of effort to beat the Angolans. So
that's right.
I think more proof there's no easy games at these Olympics. Even up in the other group, the equivalent of Angola would be the Asian champions, Iran. But I tell you what, they're tough customers as well. And when they start to focus on a particular sport, like they're now actually doing on hockey, the Iranians, they are very, very tough.
That's Gomez, number 10, with the braids in his hair. I believe that's Chen with the ball.
Just letting the clock tick down here. They've got to shoot just a couple of seconds, and I think they've left that too late. Good defense by Angola. And China will go to the break at three-quarter time with a 14-point lead, and I think they'll be pretty happy with where they are at the moment, although in the very top of the uppermost tier here. Great venue, purpose-built for these Olympic Games, and multi-purpose as well. So, a new national home for Chinese basketball, and they probably need one as well because China are looking to vastly improve on their last showing at the Olympics where they finished 8th, the last World Championships a couple of years ago where they finished, from memory, it was 11th. And they have yet to win a game at this tournament. But they're playing a side in the same boat. Angola also desperate for a win here in this competition. And we'll pick it up at the start of the third quarter. China holding down a pretty comfortable lead over the African champions.
Shot clock working down to 4 seconds. 2-1 right at the buzzer. Good rebound there by Chen. Chen brings it up. And that was Wang. I'm not sure whether it was called as a charge on Wang.
I think it was.
Pretty. Well, Gomez was...
Yeah.
He was there in position, but he just arrived at the same time Wang did. So it could have been called either way, but called against Wang.
Costa. Back from, this is Marias. Marias goes from outside, nails that one, 54-65.
Man, that was from about 25 feet. That was way beyond the three-point line. That's an amazing shot.
Well, we had that brace from the Angolans just before half-time, and they just seemed to be able to shoot three-pointers at will. The question is, why aren't they doing it more? They just wait, and then they get into their rhythm, and they shoot 2 or 3 off in a row.
Well, we just saw the stats before we came back on air, and it showed that the Angolans were 6 for 10 from three-point land, and they just made that one, and that makes 7 for 10, 70%. And that's just amazing. That's really kept them in the game because 21 of their points, not quite half, but probably 40% of their points have been three-point shots, where the Chinese were only 7 for 20. China's coach.
Yeah, a former Lithuanian international.
Yep. He said, yep, that was definitely on the forearm. So Yao to the line. He hasn't missed a free throw yet. Of course, I say that. He misses a free throw.
Commentator's curse. Yeah, the coach of China, a former Lithuanian international, and the Lithuanians are really freaks of nature when it comes to basketball. There's only about 2 or 3 million people in the country. They started playing international basketball in the 1930s. Then they were invaded by the Soviet Union. And then the Soviets said, thank you very much. And from then on, right up until independence, Soviet basketball teams were made up almost entirely of Lithuanians. Starting off with the 1972 Soviet side that beat the US at the Munich Olympics. And that was the case right up until independence. And then out of nowhere, an independent Lithuania continued on their winning ways, and they are still, to this day, a very strong force in international basketball, and they are playing up in the other pool of this competition.
Yeah, as we saw that, the shot was made by Yi, but as the ball was actually coming down toward the basket, it was slammed off the backboard by the Angolan. And of course, that's goaltending. So basket good. China leads by 11. And another 3-point. Oh, that's good drive.
That's Gomez. Oh, and it's in. Look at that, the Angolan bench screaming at the Angolans to get up, but that's not exactly what they want to do right now. 59-68, so the Angolans inside a 10-point deficit. The Angolans, the big underdogs of this entire tournament, certainly this pool. Yao Ming, in fact, he really looked like he was saying to you, look, just give it to me, will you?
Yeah, the Chinese really are a lot taller than the Angolans. Big disadvantage with Yi in there and Ming in there. It's two towering individuals.
Yao Ming has committed a foul, I should say. And let's not forget, Yao Ming was fouled out of that game against Spain. And as soon as he left the field, things fell apart in Spain. From a 14-point deficit, ended up winning in overtime by 10. This is Costa. Angola slowly starting to run out of time here against China.
China brings it in. Still 11-point lead, 6:46 to go. China knows that now in this tournament, no matter what lead they have, they need to protect the lead, continue to score, continue to make those kind of shots. Oh, good rebound by Yi.
Oh, China doing really well here with the offensive rebounds.
And out of bounds, China's ball.
Replay here of that layup there from Gomez, which eventually dropped in.
Well, the Angolas with quite a bit of talent, you can see, but they're not really playing as a team. They're looking for the outside shot, and who wouldn't when you're shooting 70% from three-point land? I guess the only question is, why don't they just keep shooting from out there? And they're making 70%. They make it look easy. Thank you. Just demonstrating what I was talking about. Another three-point shot.
That was Eduardo Mingas. Yeah, that was at the end of the second. I think they've gone right back to the end of the second quarter, I think.
That's right.
So the Angolans getting a good talking to by their coach, Alberto Carvalho, who, along with most of these players, are based in the capital, Luanda. Angola, a former Portuguese colony, in case you hadn't noticed from the names on the back of the players' jerseys. And and a country racked by 3 decades of civil war after independence, shortly after independence, in fact. All sorts of... well, Angola had really been through the ringer. They'd had North Korean troops stationed there, Cuban troops stationed there, South Africa's former army launching sorties against Angola. It was an absolute basket case, and they are still getting over that. Yao Ming turns and shoots. Easy 2.
Well, that's got to be 23 or 24 points, I think, for Yao Ming. He's having a great game. There you have the field goal percentages. 26 of 46 for China, only 22 of 51 for Angola, and there is one from 3-point that didn't even come close, an air ball.
Well, Don, I'm starting to get the feeling that the wheels are coming off Angola at the moment, off their wagon. They seem to be showing a bit of a lack of discipline at the moment, particularly with the shooting. China will sense that very quickly and will look to clean up. And the shot clock is nearly down. And Angola now take it away through Costa. And there is the other Costa. This is Luis Costa. Back for Armando Costa. I think they're going to look for 3 points here. From downtown, they miss.
So Angola with the rebound. He's down, and it's a push. I think that's on Yao Ming, because Yao was the only one there. Yes. Big push. He was already starting to trip, and just a little nudge from Yao. He sent him straight to the floor.
Well, I'd like to know how many fouls Yao Ming has now. I think it's a maximum 3, but we can't tell from the screen. 3, it's possibly as high as 4. This is Costa. Oh, he nails that. And that's up to 62. Costa bags a 3-pointer. And they're back to a 10-point deficit, but it's still not nearly close enough for Angola.
So China needs to score here, put a stop to any ideas Angola may have of a run.
Liu Wei. Yao Ming.
Yes, beautiful. I think they called Yao Ming for pushing off. No, he didn't push off, so it was a foul as he was turning to shoot. And they didn't call it a shooting foul. And he was moving to the basket, but that is a judgment call.
That is a very close call, isn't it? Yao Ming.
And that is goaltending. 2 points. He let go of it above the basket, and as it started to come down toward the basket, that's when the ball was tipped away. Once the ball reaches the top, starting down, you can't touch it.
But you can block when it's going up in the trajectory.
Absolutely.
Not down.
Even when a guy's going up for a layup, if his layup is still going up toward the backboard, you can slam it off the backboard. But once it reaches the peak of its arch, you can't touch it coming down.
Yu, back to Yao Ming. This is Costa. Luis
4 on
Costa.
2. That should be an easy basket. No, it's not. And great rebound by Yi. And I like that with China. They're getting down there, fighting for the ball, getting those rebounds.
Well, Don, that's what I meant about Angola's discipline starting to slip, and it shows in the score. Inside the last 4 minutes, this is Liu, the Chinese captain. Shoots from long range.
That's definitely a foul. What was the other Chinese player when Yao Ming played going into Sydney? They called him the Twin Towers. He was from Mongolia, I believe.
They had a couple of players from Mongolia, actually.
Yeah, the
if
really
you remember,
big
there was a bald player who was 6 feet high and looked against all the other guys about 4 feet high. They used to wear a headband. Can't remember his name. He was from Mongolia as well, but he was from the early 90s, going a long way back. And that was long before
Yao Ming's partner.
This was long before Yao Ming's generation. It's number 14, Wang Zhizhi. Yao Ming again, and now you really get the sense that China are going to coast home here Unless Angola can pull off another brace of three-pointers like they did earlier on. This is one of the Costas to another Costa. Back for Gomez, just at the top of the key. Taken away by Yao Ming. Liu again. Liu to Yao Ming, and that's a foul.
I think, was that Gomez with the foul?
No, I think it was the number 9, Geronimo.
Geronimo. He admitted he had fouled, but it's kind of like, well, what do you want me to do? Look at this guy. He's a giant. And I'll tell you what, Yao Ming, he goes to the line. He must shoot 90% to 95% of his free throws. He hardly ever misses. Let's see if I jinxed him again. Nope. So this is a big monkey off of China's back. And boy, I tell you, if they had beaten the Spanish team, that would have really thrown a wrench into this pool.
Maybe even a monkey wrench. China take it again, 78-62. Inside the last 3 minutes, and that will slow them down.
Yeah. It's a foul. Costa.
And Don, again, another shot of Zhu Fangyu, the number 8, with a big ripped scar under his eye. No, in fact, it's number 5. The skipper, it's Liu Wei who caught that scar in his last game.
And they've really taken this score out. And the big difference between the Spanish game and the Angola is not just the fact that the Spanish are a much better team, but the Spanish took Yao Ming out of the game. They hardly let him score. They were all over him. They just eliminated the Yao Ming factor, in a sense. And then, of course, we saw the young player for Spain come in and just wreak havoc against the Chinese. He was so quick.
Taken away by Sun Yu.
And Sun Yu, I believe, is going to the Los Angeles Lakers
Yes,
franchise.
he is. That's right. He's gone to the Lakers, and Yi is off to New Jersey.
And
quite a few.
Yi was walking. Said he was stuttering before he started to dribble with his feet.
So on for Angola at the moment is Milton Barosh. He took quite a lengthy break. This is Gomez. Just keeps it in and looking for
anybody.
Yeah. Yi hanging off the hoop again. It's the second time we've seen him do this in the match, and it always gets a thunderous roar. And China are home and hosed now with a 20-point lead. This is Marias.
And China's ball. Good defense.
Well, I think Angola are going to be very upset with themselves, particularly after coming to within 2 points at the end of the second quarter. They should have been able to at least keep pace with China. And now things falling apart. And that wonderful three-point shooting that we saw from Angola early on in the first half has also deserted them.
Well, China was marking them a lot closer here in the second half. They didn't give them an open shot very often on the three. A few times they did. Angola made the 3 points.
That was a difficult pass at the feet of Wang, and Wang turned around and looked at his teammate and said, "How did you expect me to pick that up?" Costa, they've got to go for the three-pointers again if they hold any hope of catching up. It's Barosh, Milton Barosh, into the paint, leaves it instead for Gomez. 64-82. Coming down to the last minute of play here at the Wukei Song Arena, and it's China who are on the verge of racking up their first win out of 3 games in this competition, a win they badly needed to hold out any hope of still going through to the next stage of the competition, the knockout stage. Foul.
Foul on, well, we're not seeing that foul. That's the slam dunk by Gomez. So number 7 for China with the shooting the free throw. That's the very first really poor looking free throw we've seen from China in 3 games. He barely made the rim, must be a little nervous. But no doubt about the second one, all net. So 45 seconds to go. Nice drive down the lane. Angola trying to get a few more points to make it look a little bit more respectable, but cost of fouls. So number 7 goes to the line again.
Yeah, that's Wang. So a little bit of the spark gone out of this match. I think the Chinese fans and players here are already thinking about thinking ahead to their next game because they certainly have this one sewn up with just 20 seconds left on the clock. Angola should perhaps think about just letting this clock run down, as we've seen the US do at the end of each of their games with a comfortable lead, and perhaps the Angolans will do this as well.
Well, they had to shoot because of the shot clock.
Let's see. No, so chance for another shot clock. Well, in fact, the game clock nearly up. There it goes, 85-66. China with a big win, a badly needed one there over Angola. A full house here at the Wukesong Arena.
Well, you got to feel good for China. They came back after that incredibly disappointing loss to Spain and played even better today than they did their first 2 games. So they seem to be improving with each game.
Well, I think this is going to give them hope as they approach their next game against Germany. China playing Germany. Angola will next play Greece.
You can see there a very fired up Yao Ming. He's really firing up this Chinese team.